I literally went from 120 pounds to 175 pounds in a year and a half. And during that time was building my business. So I didn't have to make a compromise between the two things. And that's the beauty of this system, if you want to call it that. I've been able to be consistent with this for over 4 years now. Eating, training, sleeping right, all these things, it's literally just a part of my personality. I couldn't stop it if I wanted to. I've met quite a few entrepreneurs who really just can't find the time to focus on eating, training, sleeping, any of the things that you need to do to get in shape, which I find kind of ironic considering the whole point of being an entrepreneur, at least in my eyes, is for freedom and to be able to control your schedule. Well, I personally dealt with this actually for years, and it was really hard for me to be consistent with fitness of any sort. So I want to share with you how I was actually able to build my business and get in the best shape of my life all at the same time. So I'm not going to go crazy in depth on how to get in shape. That's if you want to find out how to get in shape, there's a million fitness YouTubers out there and sciencey people who know all the details. I think the struggle is not how to do it, but just being able to have time to do it. I think that's really the main issue that most people who are running their own business are probably dealing with. So I'm just going to share with you how I solve this problem for myself. I'm not like a professional personal trainer or something. This is just my personal experience and how I've done this. So once I graduate high school, I'm 19 years old and I move out to Los Angeles to focus on music videos. I was a music video director at the time. And I wanted to make a change, so I decided to start hitting the gym, start eating better. And I actually put on some muscle and I started working out. I started seeing results for the first time in my life. I put on probably like a good 15, 20 pounds and everything was going great. So I was getting into the gym. I was getting serious about fitness. I was trying to take my health more seriously. I grew up super, super scrawny. I was literally 110 pounds at 5'11" in high school. So this is kind of where I was. And when I finally decided to take fitness more seriously, well, I had all these issues with it. And sure, there's the normal issues of like needing to learn how to train and like what foods to eat and stuff. But I found all that information online. Like it was free. It was all on the internet. It was all on YouTube. That taught me everything I needed to get started. So what actually hindered me from continuing was, one was injury, which is, the whole other thing. But two was just never having enough time for it. And basically work would take over my life at certain periods of time. I had a huge project shooting an entire album's worth of music videos, and that all had to be done in a short couple week span. We had to plan and shoot everything like in less than a month, and then I had all the editing backlogs. So during the shooting process, I basically just decided, oh, well, I can give myself a bunch of hours back in the day and have more time to work if I just cut the gym out for now. It's only a couple weeks, like I'll come back, it's not a big deal, right? That's what I told myself. Well, I stopped for a few weeks, worked on the project, and then when I needed to edit for months on end to finish all the videos that we just did, what do you think I did? I continued to not go to the gym. And so that was my problem there. I wasn't working out because I wanted to focus on work. And I think a lot of us do this because we want to make sure we achieve our goals financially or whatever. Our career and our business is really important to us. But the problem is like your health is literally something that we can never get back. It's priceless. And also it feels good to feel good and to look good and to be healthy. Like it's actually pretty beneficial to help you grow your business. Now, that's not what we're here to talk about. I'm not here to convince you on that right now. And then after I finished all these projects, funny enough, COVID happens and all the gyms shut down. So now I'm stuck doing some home workouts and I really just kind of stopped working out overall for the next few years. Well, fast forward, I had to figure something out because I did not feel good about myself, especially when I had gotten a taste of what it's like to actually get in better shape and to change my body and change the way that I feel and look. So I wanted to do that again, but I just was not sure. I was like, how do I make this all happen? So here's what I did. Without knowing it, I basically reverse engineered my life. So instead of being like, oh, here's my work, let me like cram some fitness time into this work schedule somewhere, just kind of cramming it in, just reverse the whole thing. I had these preset blocks of like, okay, I'm going to eat at this time. I'm going to eat at this time. I'm going to go to the gym at this time. And then I'm going to and then I'm going to eat when I get home. Like that was just kind of how it was. So what did I have to do? Well, I had to fit work in between those things. Instead of fitting work to work around my life, I built a life that I wanted to fit my work into. And it was something that I really didn't do on purpose, but it's led to me being extremely consistent. Now I'm 4 years consistently into going to the gym, eating right, sleeping right. Like, it's literally a part of my personality. I couldn't change it now if I wanted to. And that's the beauty of this system, if you want to call it that. Yeah, so I've effectively reverse engineered my life. I've just built in the chunks of the things that I find important, and then I fit work in after that. And it's interesting what's happened, because I didn't even realize I did it. I didn't even analyze this till years later. And when I analyzed it and I looked at how much time I have, I was like, oh, I don't have as much time to work every day as I thought I did. And that's because I set these blocks in. And I felt bad about that at first, but then I realized, like, well, if I only have, 6 hours, 7 hours a day to work, now I realize I have much less time. I'm aware of it. I'm cognizant of it. So I'm literally just able to chunk in those times, understand exactly what I have, and I'm really focused whenever I am working because, well, I can't afford not to be. So building it in this way has been really interesting. And, I genuinely really don't have to think or try when it comes to going to the gym. It's not something that I need to think about. Today's my rest day, actually. I would have been going right around now. It's about 4 p.m. And it's just, this is my normal daily routine, eating my food. And the same goes with the diet side of things as well. What I did in the past was really, really militant sounding. I say sounding because it's the laziest possible way to get in shape, which was just eat the same food every day. Like, track it all, figure out what macros I needed, eat the same food every day, weigh myself, and then just adjust as needed. And that was my system for food. I do things a little bit different now, just add in a little more variety, because you can run into issues with like food allergies if you do that, by the way. But anyway, point is, I just made my food really simple, my timing really simple of when I'm going to eat, going to the gym. And it's really, like, it's fun, honestly. I love going to the gym. Things have changed throughout the years. I've done different things, tried different things. This year, instead of just so much hypertrophy style training, I'm doing a little more strength training, I guess you could say, more just getting my foundational strength, because I kind of did everything backwards. Again, not what we're here to talk about. So what can we take from all this? So if you're like a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you want to get in shape, it just has to become a priority. Like, that's all I'm really trying to say. I know, long-winded way of saying priorities, right? But maybe think about reverse engineering it a little bit. If you're struggling to fit these things in, reverse engineer it and build your business around these things, because your health is extremely important. The way that you feel is extremely important. It's going to make you run your business better. It's going to make you show up in all the other forms of your life that much better. And I think that was another reason why I wanted to make this video, is because, to be honest, the discipline behind fitness, between training and eating and sleeping and all these things, has built me a foundational, like, disciplined skill, like a self-governing skill, which I didn't really have before. If you watch my video, I made a video about kind of my childhood experiences and how that led up to me being an entrepreneur. I think it was called The Birth of an Entrepreneur. I talked about all the issues that I'd had with being totally undisciplined and literally, like, just scraping my way through school by getting help from everyone around me. Like, that was my reality. So building this foundation of fitness has actually really, really helped me within my business to have more structure and be a little bit more disciplined and more militant with everything. So yeah, I recommend that you try this out. Now, if you're curious about details of like how I do my diet or details on training and stuff like that, I'm happy to share it. It's nothing crazy profound, but it is probably a bit more of a use case for entrepreneurs. So I can share that if you're interested. Side note for the people who are still watching at the very end, I'm definitely struggling with keeping up my weekly YouTube videos. Not because they're challenging to do, but interestingly enough, like, seeing the views and stuff change and adjust, for some reason is messing with me psychologically, and I just see them going down. And I think the reason why they're going down, ironically enough, you can go look at the last like 8 weeks, is because I started thinking too much about this stuff. I'm like thinking about thumbnails and like titles and like frameworks and shit that exists out there. And I just need to bring it back to my roots of like, I'm just making content, like, just to share what I've done. I'm just sharing information that I have that I hope helps other people. It's not that serious. I just need to keep with it. I have 52 videos to make this year, 1 per week minimum. And I just need to stick with it. So if you are, this is just, again, side note for people who are still watching at the end of my video. If you're doing something consistent and you're struggling with it, keep hanging on. I think that it's easy for us to get stuck in the loop of like the numbers and the metrics and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes you just kind of need to dig in and keep making stuff and just keep showing up and forcing yourself. This is the discipline thing. This is the whole point about the fitness. If I can show up to the gym 4 to 6 days a week, I can show up for a YouTube video once a week and share some knowledge that should help other people, hopefully, or share some of my stories. So I think that's my video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me once again. I'll see you next week. Yeah, it's cold as hell here. Snowing, Kansas. I really came from the land of the eternal spring, which is Medellin, Colombia, back to this. Okay, well, I'm gonna end the video now.